Another semester has ended, and students, as usual, lend me their praise as well as their complaints. Usually the complaints levied deal with things I discuss exigent to the curricula as required, but under normal circumstances I will reward them for listening to my diatribes by giving them extra credit points if they recall my tangential meanderings. You see, I'm the only member of the chemistry department who teaches biology, an accidental benefit of being a biochemist in a school that doesn't teach biochemistry. Even in my own department, however, I'm respected for one thing, not pretending to be something I am not. You see, I realize that we're all different, even if we have the same degree title, because we attended different universities, listened to different professors, applied our knowledge to different research projects in graduate school, and are different people to begin with based on our beliefs, values, norms, and backgrounds. I do not, however, look at any of them as deficient. I see them as different. Most people, however, seem to imply that different denotes deficient. It does not. I see the world a certain way because of my own bias and experience. I learned at university that my worldview and perception is unique and not shared even tangentially by many. This came as quite a shock. I remember realizing that not only in my academic classes but also in my social interactions, that most people don't like or see things I saw and liked. Even when we like the same things, we like them for different reasons and in different ways and to different degrees. The only major deficiency I saw in our differences was when the differences led to deception. You see, growing up, I was taught to say what I meant and mean what I say, and I assumed that everyone else was taught the same values and principles. I learned very quickly that most people say and do whatever it takes to advance themselves, even though many of them talk out of both sides of their mouth and claim charitable interactions where there aren't actually any. Enter my most recent internet troll. I expressed a sentiment online this week which was inherently risky because it brings the most random and tangentially related people into your sphere. The people who come and see your comments, the people who come and watch your videos, are people you would otherwise probably never meet. These people are often the least likely mathematically to share your point of view with any kind of Venn diagram overlap. The person implied that, having made a statement, must also mean that I believe the contrapositive to be true. Honestly, I had not even considered the contrapositive. I was taught to phrase my conclusions and observations in logic terms, and he had not considered the logic. I phrase most of what I do in if-then statements in the common parlance. So I started my comment with if, ... and then proceeded to express my sentiments. I do not have an if not, but that did not stop others from fabricating one for me and inferring one where none was expressed. When you apply basic logic to computer programming, at which I make no pretense of expertise, an algorithm does not assume that the opposite is true if an if-then logic statement is not apropos to the current circumstances. It simply bypasses that logic statement until it arrives at one that allows it to continue unabated. The reason for this is simple. Life and computer programming is not black and white. Sometimes there is more than one right or wrong answer, and it is quite simply not that simple. That if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C anywhere other than math. Some people are absolutely too calculating. My department at work brings together a slew of backgrounds into the chemistry discipline. We have only one inorganic chemist, two organic chemists, two analytical chemists, two synthetic chemists, a single biochemist, myself, a chemical engineer, and a few other individuals who all come together to teach from the same battery of chemistry courses in the college. Many of my colleagues respect me because when in conversation they surpass my level of expertise and mastery, I don't simply nod my head up and down and pretend that I understand what they're talking about. I stop them and tell them that they have exceeded my expertise on the subject. They know that in certain matters, my expertise likewise exceeds their own. I was the first to make online videos, but I gladly handed that over to a colleague whose skills superseded my own, at least from a video editing standpoint, and simply appeared in them instead, since I'm a better teacher than I am a film editor, as you may conclude from my YouTube channel and the videos that clearly demonstrate a lack of skill in that particular venue. With this particular kind of diverse pool in our team, our differences cancel out rather than magnify our deficiencies, and we are better for it. This is the only kind of diversity that actually leads to a better circumstance. I think too many people mistake diversity, deficiency, and differences. They conflate the terms together, that diversity can overcome deficiency and the differences create deficiencies. I think that too many people spend too much time actually looking for deficiencies everywhere they go. Abraham Lincoln famously, allegedly said that if you look for the bad in mankind expecting to find it, you surely will. I suspect that my troll came to my comment and hoped to find something to criticize. I see these kind of people incessantly online. He didn't say anything good about what I had to say. He simply took it as an opportunity to assume that I thought I was better than him and then use an ad hominem to beat me down to show that he was more enlightened than I. If you read any of my work or watch any of my videos or spend any time with me in real life, you can easily conclude that I'm an arrogant prick. After all, you must be at least a little arrogant to presume yourself enlightened and sufficiently instructed enough to teach others anything, particularly at the collegiate level. Otherwise, students will walk all over you, and I have seen them do that to colleagues. This does not, however, imply that I am an arrogant prick. It just means that I can come across that way if the only interactions that you have are limited to one medium, one place, or one post. Contrary to the assumptions proposed, I do not see others deficient because they are different. I see them as different. Sometimes I dislike those differences. Honestly, I will admit that. Sometimes, however, I am enlightened by those differences. People come into your life who have a great deal of expertise beyond what you know because they've been places, met people, and done things that you have not had the opportunity or the interest in doing. You see, I know enough to know that I don't have all the answers, and that some of the answers I have are wrong. And if you can teach me rather than roast me, I will be all the more grateful for it. By the same token, if you see that I am wrong and learn to be better than I, then we will both be better off for it. I'm not threatened by being wrong. I tell my students all the time, go fact check me, and if you discover that I am wrong, you will always remember that for two reasons. You will remember because your teacher was wrong, and you will remember because you went and did your own homework. I am not threatened by those who prove that I do not have every answer. I am only threatened by those who do wrong and claim to be in the right. But then again, we all are. Different does not denote deficient, but those who assume that you see it that way are different enough that you should go off on your own. If you meet those people, it's best to give them wide berth. I decided not to continue to engage in conversation with this person because they were not probably looking to be educated. They were looking to be agitated, and that's a completely different subject altogether. In all of your interactions with people, be wise, Godspeed, and good luck.